Hi, I'm Ryan. I am launching PlasticFreeLiving.com, and I thought I'd just vlog for a couple minutes about the inspiration and where it's all headed. If we don't really know where it's headed yet, but I'll talk about what I know now. So, PlasticFreeLiving.com. The inspiration was the last few years seeing article after article about more information on the accumulation of plastic in our environment and within our bodies, microplastics, nanoplastics everywhere. And seems like evidence just continues to build up for not only the amount of these microplastics in the environment and our bodies increasing, but also the health implications and the wellness implications of all this buildup of microplastics and nanoplastics. So at the same time, seeing that, trying to make some personal choices and modifications to lifestyle to try to reduce the amount of plastic exposure and the amount of contamination into the environment that I'm contributing to. And what I'm noticing is that it is very difficult for anybody to make the trade-offs because of how difficult it is to know the implications of one trade-off versus another. So the example for me, for instance, was just thinking about ingestion of microplastic and nanoplastic. How am I actually potentially getting the most of this into my system? Drinking came to mind first. How do I make sure that I drink water, the most common thing that I drink, that's free of microplastic and nanoplastic? And going through the options for how to get water and what would be have the lowest amount of contamination, really hard to figure out. Do we have plastic piping in our house? So if you get it from the tap, is it going to be potentially contaminated from the plastic piping? Does an RO filter or reverse osmosis really solve the problem? Well, there's evidence that it reduces microplastics dramatically, but there's also evidence that it might increase the amount of nanoplastics. So even something as simple as just, where do you get your water from if you really want to make sure it's free of both micro and nanoplastics? Very difficult to make good decisions and get good information about it. So at the same time, I'm going through this trying to think about the decisions that could reduce my own exposure. I'm also noticing there's a brilliant forum on Reddit called PlasticFreeLiving.com, and people are trading ideas and supporting each other in this forum of how to reduce plastic. And again, a great source, but didn't really combine everything that I was kind of visualizing for a platform that could bring this all together. So I think PlasticFreeLiving.com is the vision for it is a portal that will bring together content creation, research, product testing, maybe some laboratory testing, maybe other informational resources, and ultimately maybe even be a portal for shopping if that seems to be a good thing and is helpful to people in the future, and would just be a catalyst not only for myself personally in this journey, but then ultimately helpful to other people that are going through this journey trying to figure out how to reduce their own plastic exposure. At the same time, this was coming up, talking to my son, Robert. He seemed to be interested in it, and I've got a sense he'll be a great content creator and really help with that process. So part of this journey is doing that work with him. And we are working on launching the website. Mostly right now, we're just kind of having fun with some R&D and content creation. So doing some videos and vlogging. Our first one we're tackling, we just gravitated towards cutting boards in our home and doing a lot of research on the alternatives around titanium and glass and silicone and resins and many other options for cutting boards, even wood in a butcher block or glued format. We weren't liking many of those. Solid wood was coming up as the intuition as this would be the place to go, but the downside of solid wood is the maintenance. And that's, people talked about quite a bit of the continuous oiling, the hand washing, not nearly as convenient as just throwing a plastic cutting board into the washing machine like we're used to. But at the same time, probably one of the most beautiful natural options and easy on knives, many other benefits. So our first project is going to be trying out quite a few different solid wood cutting boards, seeing how just daily use and our way of working with them without a lot of maintenance really treats us, and how often they would need to be replaced if you did go with this solid wood type option. And we'll be doing some videos and blogging on that first. I think from where it goes from there, there's thousands of things that need to be tackled. There's lots of research. I'm probably the most interested in validating some products with laboratory testing and other things that we might do. Many people talk about things like trying to replace their clothing with things like bamboo and other textiles, but finding out later that really they're just another actually are plastic in the form that you get them, even though you're trying to avoid plastic. So some laboratory testing and things to actually validate products would be where I'd really like to go with some of this. But who knows where it'll go. Looking forward to seeing, just being, like I said, using it as a catalyst for my own journey and seeing where this goes. And yeah, thanks for joining us. And we'll see where this heads in the future.